Yesterday I took this out for the first time for the season. I'll put the cold start. I had to crank it until I had fuel up in the carburetor. But the throttle was sticking when I would take my foot off the accelerator, and I had to turn this down. I think this dash pot's bad. So I'm just going to take it off for now until I can get another one. And hopefully that'll solve the problem. And I also got some things in an estate sale and show you what some auto related stuff. So I'll show you what that is, but I just want to get this off. I might have another one down in the basement in my parts stash. I'll have to look. But I replaced this one not too long ago, but it's supposed to go down in but it pushes really hard. I think the stuff inside them just goes bad over time. But that was a new old stock one about 10 years ago. And I think that is why the throttle was not come back. So yeah, I picked up an alternator. It's an auto light. I think 60 Ford, because it doesn't have the amperage or anything stamped in. Back then they actually put a stamp on the alternator like they did in the 66 Galaxy. And there was a complete disassembled 289 V8 in this basement of this house where the estate sale was, where this alternator was. So I assume that was probably from that 289 originally. And there was this. This thing's in really nice shape. It's a day-night mirror. And it states right on it, guide glare proof, made in USA. So it's probably AC Delco. And then there were some cigarette lighters. That one, the heating coil's no good in it. It wasn't so much this part that I wanted, it was this part. A lot of these, they don't make them the size that will fit cigarette lighters anymore. You can put things in them, but lighters don't fit in them. But that's what I wanted. There's a set of keys for GM, 30K2, 21LO maybe. And there was a bunch of radio knobs. But this mirror and these knobs and the lighters all came together. So anyway, yeah, I gave him $5 for everything there. It was 50% off day, and he wanted 10, and which made it 5. So anyway, let me put the bolt back on, and then we'll deal with that at a later date. The nut to the holds the carburetor on. Then I'm going to take it out for a little run and see if that prevents the throttle from sticking. It was running at I was probably idling at 1,000 or 1,200 RPM, which was kind of annoying. So anyway, we'll get this tightened back up, and hopefully it'll solve the fast idle issue. Just idling in that's choke closes like it should. Okay, let me put the air cleaner back on and we'll fire it up and go for a little. Okay, you obviously saw I set the choke. It's a neutral. Alright, we'll let it warm up a moment and we'll go for a little ride, and hopefully that takes care of it. Turn the radio down. It's staticky because the fluorescent lights are on in the garage. Well, I got it running pretty good now. Played with the adjustments on the carburetor a little bit and whatnot, and I think bottom line is I probably need to rebuild the carburetor. It was a couple of years ago the accelerator pump stopped pumping and I put a new pump on it, but back then it probably could have used an overhaul, and I just put it off. There's, you know, I mean, it's actually running really good right now. I might end up putting it off more. Totally happy. I just, like I say, just tweaked the idle mixture screws on the carburetor a little bit, and I think, you know, like I say, I think it got a little gummed up from being in the heated garage over the winter. I always found that this car, the colder the winter, the better it ran in the spring when it was, you know, stored in unheated areas. It seemed like the brutal cold prevented gas from gumming up and whatnot. But anyway, it's running good now. I'm happy. I took it out and topped it off. It was down about 5 or 6 gallons, so it's got some fresh gas in it. So hopefully it'll solve all the issues with it. They're predicting a bunch of unusually warm in the mid 70s up to upper 70s and maybe even 80 next week, which is unusual for April. This is I think the 8th of April. So yeah, that's like we could still have a foot of snow this time of year. So that's why I got the car out last night, Friday night. I took it out on Woodward in that initial cold start. That's when the car hadn't been running quite a while, so I'm sure there was no gas in the float bowl, and it had to crank until it got gas up there, and then it started right up. I'm gonna go out, check Woodward out, do a first run in the Bel Air. We'll get the garage door opened up here. It's a beautiful day. It's a little chilly out right now. It's about maybe 45. It was maybe 50 today. Been a while since it's been running. There we go. Sitting all winter in the carburetor in the warm garage, and then it has gotten gummed up because it's just not running as good as it was. I did.
Reinventing our network to help keep your business moving with new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service.
Okay, yeah, we'll head right to that.
More at USPS.com/moving forward.
Medical breakthroughs and speeding under level in the lives. But we need all the help we can get. Look at heart and stroke concierge today. And together, look at heart disease, and stroke, and that's
I'm going to pull a seat out eventually and repad it yet this year. Like I say, holding off right now because they're predicting a bunch of nice weather, and I want to take it out and cruise. And there was a couple cars out cruising last night. I'll try and get some off the dash cam. I had the AM radio blaring in the car, and I had some friends with me. So I don't know if you know, what's all going to be on. If I do, I might have to mute the sound so I don't get a copyright. But anyway, yeah, so I've been cleaning up in the garage. I got an alternator to rebuild, as you see here, so I'll do that. If you want to see a video on doing it, I can do that. I've done them with other cars, the Galaxy and whatnot. I'll fix it up and sell it. That's what I like to, you know, I'll buy car parts and fix them up and sell them. And I still got to go through this gearbox, and I'll do a video on that. And there's the trike about just sitting there waiting. Maybe Monday or Tuesday I'll take it out to my brother's and we'll get you a video of riding it around out there. But anyway, I'm going to end the video here. So if you like the video, definitely hit that like button. If you like my channel, 348 engine icon that pops up there will subscribe you. And thank you for watching.